The slave master took Tom and dressed him well and fed him well and even gave him a little education, Gave him a long coat and a top hat and made all the other slaves look up to him. Then he used Tom to control them. The same strategy that was used in those days is used today by the same white man. He take a Negro, so-called Negro, and make him prominent, build him up, publicize him, make him a celebrity, and then he becomes a spokesman for Negroes.
Ways of being in a society. So for this discussion, I'm going to separate them into what I call the ice people and the people of the sun. The people of the ice were for thousands of years raised in an environment that was cold and harsh, wasn't much food, and they came up with a different axiology. The ice people's axiology is what's known as member to object, and that object started out as food, meaning the highest value for the ice people lied within an object, and that object was food, and there wasn't much of it, and there are a lot of people. So if there's a deer that runs through, they're all thinking the same thing, get that deer. Now if you've got a lot of people around and you all got the same idea, the value system becomes every man for himself, every person for themselves. So you're gonna have to kill that deer, but you're also probably gonna have to kill a couple people too. So just to survive in that environment, you've actually got to become a savage just to survive. I guess the most barbaric savage within that environment would be the strongest, and the most barbaric tribe or clan would be the strongest. So if you go to the people of the sun now, they had an abundance of food. They had a different axiology. Their value lied within member to member, meaning the highest value now lies within the membership of a human knit family. So you have what they call tribe or what they call village. When you have these two different psychologies, are basically going to come up with different God concepts, because I'm a firm believer that God concepts come from the minds of people and not, you know, the actual deities that people claim they come. The gods of ice people are cold and harsh, and so when you have this whole member to object psychology, you also don't have very high value in human life. Because if you were to go to a ice person and you were to go to a sun person and you said to the sun person, where's your orphanage? They'd probably look at you like you're crazy. So they'll be like, what's an orphanage? And they say, you know, the place where you put all the children that you don't want. And they'll be like, what do you mean you throw children away? And they'll be like, yeah, we do. They'll be like, all right, then where's your old people's home? And they'll be like, well, we don't have an old people's home. The elders in our society are the most respected. These two people have two totally different psychologies, and these psychologies have kind of morphed into the modern world. So the member to object is now stuff. It's not food anymore. The actual psychology is still ingrained, and the actual axiology is still ingrained within the ice people. So member to object, what are those objects now? The sun people have the objects. When you go to sun people's lands, whether you're South America, North America, Africa, wherever, they're the ones that have got the stuff. So when the ice people and the sun people came into contact with one another, the only outcome generally was going to be exploitation, because the ice people have a different axiology. The value that they hold is in the object. So you have these sun people like, hey, how you doing? Another member of the human family. You may look different from us, but hey, you're still a member of the human family. Then you have the ice people looking at their stuff saying, how you doing? I want your stuff. And exploitation was bound to be the outcome when these two people met.
You know, we got people over here right now, right, making nuclear weapons. Do you know what I'm saying? Africans aren't making nuclear weapons. I've always said to people, the axiology, talk about axiology a lot, and what people find valuable, and you will find that the European nations and the Arab nations have a different view of human life. They do. They go out of their way, in my views, my opinion, to make weapons and think of bigger and better ways in which to kill people. Now you've got scientists sitting down right now, okay, in buildings, okay, figuring out ways in how we're gonna kill people better than the way we killed them last week, Okay, so Africans don't sit down and do that stuff. You have to understand you're dealing with a different type of mind when you deal with these people. Like, it's a different type of mind. 3 p.m. He will team up with KEMETS, a black supremacy group who call white people evil by biological nature. What? What? Like, what? Where are you getting this stuff? Like, who are you, first of all, who are you getting this stuff from? Where are you getting this stuff? We, KEMETS, think that white people are evil by biological nature? What the hell are you talking about? Who the hell just hit my car? Someone just hit my car, you know. But I'm going to continue. Hey! What the hell? You saying bumper to bumper? Shit. They're lucky I'm doing a live right now. And I'm here saying, no, I am your father. I gave birth to you. I am an African. African genetics are the reason for everybody's genetics. I am your father. Respect me as such. You cannot take that. Okay? So you say, oh, Sa Ra's a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I'm telling you the facts. If the facts are racist, then I don't know what world you're living in. I'm not saying I'm more supreme than you. I'm simply telling you that without my genetics, you would not be here. So I am your father. I am essentially your God. Okay? And they cannot take that because black people are supposed to be in a certain position. They know you to be subservient. They know you to be under them. And black people assume that position whenever they get into roles where non-black people are. They assume it consciously and subconsciously. They let themselves become the subservient one. Another person that is not black walks into a room and black people switch up their whole game. They start talking differently. They start moving differently. They start explaining things differently. And it's like, that's what they're used to. They're used to you being basically the slave. Now you have to show them as a black person, you are no longer that person. You can excel. Because black people have been asleep for far too long and been taking the subservient position for far too long.
Bro, the system's built like that. I'm gonna say, you turn on the TV, you get race prejudice TV. You walk out your house, you get race prejudice adverts. You can't go anywhere. Even the books that you read to your children are race prejudice. You can't get away from race prejudice in the system. It's just intrinsic to the system.
Is there a system that doesn't have it? Because you're obviously inferring that somehow the system is bad, which it may well be, but is there a better one?
That doesn't have race prejudice?
Yeah.
No, I believe white supremacy is global now. Okay. There may have been at some point, but it's now global. Nowhere safe.
So basically,
you can go to the deepest.
So, but are you unsafe here in the UK? And in what sense? You were saying you're not safe. You can go nowhere and you feel safe.
Safe? No, safe.
What did you say?
I said you can't be raised in this system and not be race prejudiced in some way, shape, or form.
And then you said something about the whole world. What did you say about the whole world?
I said because of him. That we won't lie about. It's a global system.
And then you said you don't feel safe anywhere or something. Didn't you say that?
I don't think that's it.
Nah, he just said it's world spread because of white supremacy.
Oh, okay.
So basically,
say again?
It's spread because
do
of
I agree with what?
Because of white supremacy.
Which one?
White supremacy.
What do you mean by white supremacy?
The fact that white is better than everyone else.
And who says that? What do you mean by better? Because I wanted to ask you this. You and I agree on a lot.
Right.
But I think we disagree on two things.
Right.
One is you appear to have bought into this melanin theory, which Gary spouts, and I'm hoping that's not the case. Or the melanin theory where blacks are superior to other people because of the amount of melanin in their skin.
No.
Hopefully you don't.
I don't buy into
Okay.
My thing is, the bottom line is, I'm talking about white supremacy. I'm talking about any melanin theory or anything. White supremacy is a global system.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning?
So is it the same in China? Is it the same in Japan?
Of course it is.
Okay, so it's...
Of course it is.
Okay, so the Chinese are whites or are some other whites controlling them?
I'm saying China has brought into... Because white supremacy encompasses labour, law, education, politics, war, beauty, love, all of these things. It's not one thing.
Everything.
Say again?
So we shouldn't like anything then without laws?
Without laws?
Yes.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You said that white supremacists have no laws.
No, I named like 7 things. Law, labour, politics, religion, love,
Okay.
beauty.
Well, beauty you can't side. But how does society work without labor?
Yes, I'm not saying it should work without labor. I'm saying white supremacy is a system that within the labor sector, there's white supremacy. Within the law sector, there's white supremacy. Within the love sector, there's white supremacy. Within the religion sector, there's white supremacy.
But what about those things?
Study law so you can be a lawyer.
Say again?
So go study law and then you can be a lawyer.
Firstly, this is quotes now from the actual post on Mohammed Hijab's Instagram. Yeah? This is a quote. Black supremacist Sa Ra Garvey and neo-fascist Tommy Robinson. That's how he starts the actual thing. So I'm a black supremacist now, yeah, remember, according to this post, and Tommy Robinson is a neo-fascist. Now, I'm telling you, I'm breaking this stuff down. You need to go on Mohammed Hijab's Instagram, yeah, and look at this post.
You can't be, oh yeah, I'm proud of being an African, and then I walk into your house and there's a picture of a white Jesus on the wall and you're telling me that's God. Like, do you understand what it must do to the psyche of the children growing up to see a white man as God? Come on, man, that's some craziness. Seriously, man, that is some craziness, man. White people, see, you're black and you're going to see white people as God. Whoa, man. In Wakanda, we didn't have that.
Right? The gods of the earth are returning, right? And it scares them, okay? It scares them. And so black man and black woman, you need to return to your position. Return to who you are and let these people know that you are their mothers and you are their fathers. They have put themselves in a supreme position. It's time for you to put them in check, because the only person, when you get out of your station, when you get a little bit too big for your boots, the only person who can put you in check are your parents. You can become a billionaire tomorrow. You can become successful in your life. If your mother or your father says, hey, listen, stop, you have to listen to them. And that is who we are. We are the mothers and fathers of the earth. So it's up to us to put these unruly children back in check.
But boy, you know, some people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to. Corrupt African leaders blame the white man. Listen, bro, there's corrupt African leaders, but there's corrupt leaders all around the world. And I would literally say the people need to rise up and off with their head. Do you get what I'm saying? But when you off with their head, or when you start saying, you know what, I'm not going to play by your game no more, like people like Mugabe said, he's not playing the British game no more, because remember, Mugabe was Sir Robert Mugabe. He was knighted by the British before they revoked that shit. So Mugabe was playing the game. And when Mugabe decided not to play the game, he's a dictator.
However, you, my black people, are the reason these people are even here. And I'm not saying they should be subservient to you. I'm saying you showed them that they are here because of you. You are their father. You are their mother. They are not allowed to treat you in a subservient position, and you should not assume a subservient position. So I'm just going to close this video, and I hope my message got through. Don't worry, people.
Anyways, so we're just saying that we don't want to listen, if you have complete separation...
I'm your father.
Complete separation.
It means I'm your daddy. That's what it means.
Could you hear that? Yeah. Okay,
it means I'm your daddy. My genetics came before yours and gave birth to yours. That don't mean I'm
either going to have an intellectual debate to unpack what these things mean, or you're not. If you're not, you have to supreme.
That just means I'm your daddy.
We have to be advocates.
All right, guys, thank you very much.
Wait. This guy just made a statement that I'm your daddy, and genetically I came before you. And because he used the word genetically, he is assuming science. Scientifically, according to science today, monkeys came before you, primates. So primates are your daddy. Is that what you're saying? Is a primate your daddy? Is quiet now?
No, but now you want to speak.
You're using the word genetics. Genetically, primates are your daddies. But that's it. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Sex made.
Let's go. All right, good night, guys.
So you agree, right?
What?
I can only enforce it if you guys don't use your good terms.
Okay, listen, we're cool. We want to keep it that way.
That's it, man.